This session is about managing the paper of polity, because questions are not direct. Right to equality, article number. Right against exploitation, article number. It's not like that. Even though despite reading the conventional books, examiner is making sure that students are getting confused. His aim is to confuse. Our aim is to not to get confused. In the last session I have already discussed, don't get panicked. Don't get panicked. What is this, what is this, what is this? Examiner, he himself will be leaving small hints to you people. If you want to answer the question, you have to read both the question and also options together. Because part of the question will be solved by reading the question. Part of the question will be solved by making the choices. Amongst the ABCDs given there, or 1, 2, 3, 4 combinations given there, go through the how thoroughly you are going through the question. Same way you have to go through the options also thoroughly. Examiner leaves hints both in the question and also the statements in the questions, question itself, statements in the question, and also the options. Means your eye movement should be very fast, you should be in a position to scrutinize everything. He may leave a weak point in options. He may leave a weak point in the combinations. As we have discussed, at least one statement you have to be sure. Yes or no? No. Mindset should be different for different subjects. For different subjects, mindset should be different. But the thing is, for any subject, the basic criteria is, the thought process what you have to incorporate is, human society will progress. Why are we reading polity, economy, geography, everything for progress of human race. So keep in mind this word progress. What is that? Progress. Be progressive in your outlook. Be progressive in your outlook. Societies or the systems, political systems or societies in general, do they progress or regress? Progress or regress? Progress. Similarly, the institutions what we develop, the rule of law, democracy, whatever it may be, they are aimed at progress. They are aimed at progress. Keep that in mind when solving the question. So, look for the best amongst the given options. Sometimes examiner may give you 4 options which are relevant. Amongst the 4, choose the best. Amongst the 4 which is having wider interpretation, choose it. Choose the best amongst the 4. Choose the best amongst the 4. Today, we shall be discussing 21, 22, 20 and 19 questions, which can be answered, because basically these are concept based questions. I have selected questions in such a way, it will be a mix of concept and logic. Okay. So 21, 22, 20 and 19 questions will be discussed. Look at the question keenly, carefully, Okay. Now, which of the following in Indian polity is an essential feature that indicates its a federal character? I think you are having the question paper with you. Which one of the following in the Indian polity is an essential feature that indicates that it is federal in character? Federal in character. Independence of judiciary is safeguarded. Union legislature has elected representatives from the constituent units. Union cabinet have been elected representatives from the regional parties. Fundamental rights are enforced by the courts of law. Courts of law. So, I told you about progress, but the relevance of the progress also has to be tested. Here the relevance is federal in character, Now just think, federal means we have the union and its constituents, or center or the states, we have India, we have states roughly, these constituents make a union, So federation has to be strong enough, we have to bind the units together, then only federation can continue, yes or no. So the units have to be bounded to form a union. So under such scenario, what is the essential character which is federal in character amongst these? Union legislature has elected representatives from the constituent units. Elected representatives from the constituent units. Union legislature means the parliament. हो जाएगा? Can we bind the federation together just by having the representatives in the parliament? Independence of judiciary is safeguarded. I'll come back to it. Union cabinet has elected representatives from the regional parties. B and C, statement B and statement C, almost they are relevant, almost, if not same. Since we have only A, B, C, D, 2 cannot be correct. B and C, almost same. Yes or no? So it cannot be both B and C then. So answer should lie in either A or D. We are discussing 2021. Answer lies in either A or D. So amongst them, which is the best? Fundamental rights are enforced by courts of law. Is it anywhere related to federation? No, the thing is, I am not teaching you the concept now, how to manage the paper. Union legislature has elected representatives from the constituents, Union cabinet has elected representatives from the regional parties. Almost same. So it cannot be both B and C. If you mark, क्या हो जाएगा? Negative mark. So answer should lie either in A or D. Fundamental rights, enforcement of fundamental rights, is it anywhere related to the federation? Fundamental rights are very important in any society. Yes or no? Then how it is related to federation, fundamental rights? Sir, we are tensed. क्या करना है? Sir, how come independence of judiciary then? Now I am just asking you, there is no direct relation between fundamental rights and federation. And these two statements, they are almost the same. क्या करेंगे? Do you want to go ahead with A or नहीं करना चाहिए? I will not. नहीं करना है? Go for A. Your 70% of paper will be like this only. You have to be in an attacking mode. That's what I was telling you the other day also. Because you will be undecisive. Shall I go with A or D? इधर साफ दिख रहा है. It's very clear here. Even if you are not sure, go for it. It's a smart work what you are doing. What I told you, read the question and also the options together. Examiner will leave you hints in the question and also the options given there. He has given a hint of B and C together. Got it? So, to explain this concept, federation needed a written constitution. Federation needs, the basic characteristic of federation is it needs a written constitution. A written constitution means if it is a verbal constitution we can change it. Array verbal cannot be enforced. Yes or no? If it is a written constitution, the powers will be divided between the union and the constituents. Now we have constitution. The powers of the states and the powers of the union are specified clearly. And if there arises any disputes between the union and states, judiciary will make sure that constitution is enforced. For that purpose, we need an independent judiciary. This is the concept. All this will be taught in the class. But here, since we are left with only 20 days, I am teaching a few techniques to manage. Done? Done? ठीक है. Now, second question, which one of the following best defines a state? State, a modern state. Now, be sure, I am telling you, you will be getting questions on the concepts of political science, state, liberty, rule of law. You can expect questions. You can expect questions. There will be questions. So, what I told you, the logic, the most progressive amongst. The most progressive. Yes or no? All these topics will not be taught in regular classes, and you won't get these in conventional textbooks also. Conventional, not textbooks, conventional books followed by the students. I am not going to comment on any book. Okay, every book has both pros and cons, but conventionally what the students have been reading through years, so these sort of things are not discussed. Now, a community of persons permanently occupying a different territory and independent of external control and possessing an organized government. A politically organized people of different territory possessing an authority to govern them, maintain law and order, protect their natural rights and safeguard their means of sustenance. A number of persons who have been living in a different territory for a very long time with their own culture, tradition and government. A society permanently living in a different territory with a central authority and an executive responsible to the central authority and an independent judiciary. State. State can be democratic, state can be autocratic, anything is a state. First thing what you have to identify is this one. State means generally we will be looking into democracy. Democracy is not only the state, we have monarchical states. Yes or no? Community of persons personally occupying a different territory, they have a territory, independent of external control and organized government. Politically organized people of different territory, that is just a community of persons. Here politically organized people. They have territory possessing an authority to maintain, govern them, maintain law and order, protect their natural rights, safeguard their means of sustenance. Is it possible? Safeguarding means of sustenance means आप लोग source of income, livelihood जरूरी है. Just a state in existence, not state in operation. State in existence, state in theory or state in existence, not in existence, state in existence, not state in operation, state in theory. Next, number of persons who have been living in a different territory for a very long time with their own culture, tradition and government. Number of people living in a different territory for a very long time with their own culture, tradition and government. It is state. We have 6th schedule areas now. We have district councils and regional councils. Why? To make sure their administrative system continues or their own culture continues. Then is it a state? Just continuing culture, only for culture, can it be a state? Now, society permanently living. Society permanently living in a different territory with a central authority and an executive responsible to the central authority and an independent judiciary. Independent judiciary we have in a democratic state. Yes or no? So, is it mandatory for every state, all types of states, to have an independent judiciary? So, amongst the four, which is best? B, means of sustenance. अच्छा, अब लोग क्या खाना है, क्या पीना है, उसके बारे में सोचना पड़ेगा स्टेट को. How you are earning livelihood. Culture. Why not one? We have territory, no external control, nobody is governing us, nobody is controlling us, and we have our own government. Government will be organized. We have a system, any system will be organized. Government cannot be unorganized. Organized government, we have president, prime minister, council of ministers, bureaucracy, everything is part of government. To run the state, we need administration, we need government. Should be organized or unorganized? It should be organized. It should be organized. We have a territory, no external control and our own organized government. These are the basic characteristic of a state. These are the basic characteristics of a state, because if it is in a class, I would have explained you in detail. These are the basic characteristics of the state. Now this session is how to answer such questions, how to come to the conclusion, because I cannot teach now everything. All the concepts cannot be taught now. I am giving a basic idea for you how to manage the paper. ठीक है? Shall we switch to next one? Now, there will be certain questions. Ignorance is a bliss. So, don't try to chase each and every question. There will be certain questions which are something called as screw loose questions. Ignore them. This question was asked in 2021. There was a lot of uncertainty, I mean ambiguity in the key. कौन सा correct है, एक बात बोलो. This question was finally dropped by UPSC. ऐसा भी होता है. Sometimes questions will be dropped. ठीक है. So questions like this, because it's very tough, you see. In India, there is no law restricting candidates from contesting in one Lok Sabha election from 3 constituencies. So we go through Representation of People's Act, we have all these details. But the thing is, in the examination hall, in the 2 hours, under that conditions of pressure, It's better to avoid such questions. And Mr. in 1991 Lok Sabha election, Sri Devilal contested from 3 Lok Sabha constituencies. If this is correct, this should be correct. Means possibility. Yes or no? As per existing rules, if a candidate contested in 1 Lok Sabha election from any constituencies, his or her party should bear the cost of the by-election to the constituencies vacated by him or her in the event of him or her winning all the constituencies. ऐसा होता है. Organized state. So there was a lot of ambiguity with respect to these questions. Comfortably we can eliminate this one, third one, but there is ambiguity again. So better to ignore such questions. Why? Because it will have a lot of impact on you in the examination hall. अरे एक question छूट गया, अरे I have dropped a question. So mentally be prepared. 3 or 4 questions we have to. 3 or questions we have to. Or in some cases 10 questions we have to. I haven't answered 5 questions. There will be a panic generated. अरे 5 questions तो गया, क्या करूँगा मैं? Don't get panicked. ठीक है. If there is a need to drop a few questions from your side, better do it. क्या होगा? 1 question, 2 questions, कुछ भी नहीं होने वाला. But the thing is, you have to answer the other questions in a better way. Make sure you don't miss the other questions. ठीक है. Finally, this question is dropped. Just I am showing you this question. There will be questions like this. Don't get panicked. UPSC has finally dropped this question. You just check the 2021 key question paper and key. This question is dropped. ठीक है. Constitutional government means, all these are the basics. Constitutional government means a limited government or limitations of the government. We have a constitution, right? Do you have a constitution? What exactly is the constitution? Constitution, what it specifies? The roles and responsibilities of different institutions. Yes or no? Are there any limitations or unlimited powers? Limitations. So constitutional government is essentially a limited government which puts the limitations of the government. These are the basic things. Now, a representative government of a nation where with federal structure, is it mandatory? Many countries are having constitution. Are all the states federal in nature? No. A government whose head enjoys nominal powers, a government whose head enjoys real powers, a government limited by the terms of the constitution. I told you, progress the best, especially with respect to the ideas or the concepts of political science. Yes or no? So constitutional government means a progressive government. Yes or no? Yes or no? No. So constitutional government means a government limited by the terms of the constitution, or a limited government. Constitutional government is essentially a limited government. Constitutional government is essentially a limited government. Do remember this. Now, a legislation which confers on the executive or administrative authority an unguided and uncontrolled discretionary power, in the matter of application of law violates which of the following of the articles of the Constitution of India? Constitutional government is a limited government. There should be limitations. There won't be any unrestricted powers to anyone. Yes or no? So all this has the basis of all this is rule of law. Basic of all is rule of law, that is equality before law. Now executive, administrative authority and unguided and uncontrolled discretionary power, it is violating the rule of law or the equality. Unrestricted, unguided is against the concept of rule of law. It's a very easy question. Yes or no? ठीक है. Consider the following statements. Be careful with the statements given here. 1, 2 and 3. Already you have gone through the question paper? Yes or no? So are we still in 2021? 2021? ठीक है. Is this the last? Okay. Right to city is an agreed human right. Read the statements together. You will find something. You will find a clue. Right to city is an agreed human right, and UN Habitat monitors the commitments made by each country in this regard. Statement appears to be progressive. Maybe or may not be. Right to city is an agreed human right. Is it a human right? Right to city. Why not a human right? Right to city means having access to a city. Is it a right? Yes. We cannot deny anyone, we cannot chase anyone. Yes or no? It appears to be progressive. But whether it is an agreed human right or not, it is a human right. If you link human rights and right to city, they are linked. Yes or no? But is it an agreed human right? Is there any convention on it? Whether it is agreed or not sure. But let us consider this also. Let us consider this also. Let us take this statement also into confidence. And now we shall go into the options, the remaining two also, and check the combinations. Check the combinations. Okay. Go for the second one. Right to city gives every occupant of the city the right to reclaim public spaces and public participation in the city. Can it be progressive or not? Yes or no? It's a progressive statement. Participation. People's participation in the management. Progressive statement. So there should be two. Do you agree? There should be two. Third one. Right to city means state cannot deny any public service or facility to unauthorized colonies in the cities. Is it progressive? No. State can, there is an unauthorized colony. So since being it is an unauthorized colony, cut water and electricity. We are humans. We are living in a society. Yes or no? Our society means our community or our group is not the only group living in this society. We are society at large. We have to take care of each and every one. Everyone is a citizen. Everyone is entitled to certain rights. You are poor, you don't have rights. You are a slum dweller, you don't have right. ऐसा हो सकता है? अरे you are बहुत rich. So lot of water to your house. What about the concept of equality then? What is the concept of rule of law? You see, the same year, constitution, equality, rights, everything is linked. The thing is, if you are having this basic understanding of progress, rights, you can manage the question. It's not just about reading, revise. How you are thinking in the examination hall, that matters. Can you find this in your textbooks? Not textbooks, in your preparation books available in the market? Such stuff? No. Sir, is there any book UPSC is picking the questions from polity? I will not reveal. We have sources. Third statement also appears to be optimistic. फर्स्ट भी हो सकता है, ठीक है, चलो 1 2 3 है, 1 2 3, अरे नहीं है, क्या करेंगे? टू को तो रहना है, कॉम्बिनेशंस वी हैव 1 and 2, 2 and 3. एनीथिंग मोर? What is the best bet? In this case, you are uncertain. But what is the best bet? Because 1 भी हो सकता है, 3 is more optimistic. So what is the best bet? Go with D. And that's the answer. That's the answer. So you have to develop such a mindset. Go ahead, don't think twice. अरे के साथ जाओ या ना जाओ, you feel like it. If you feel like this is correct, go ahead with it. But you have to be smart enough to eliminate. So it's all about, time and again I have been telling you, it's all about your utilization of your brain in the examination hall. How cool, how balanced, how composed you are matters, determines your success in preliminary examination. ठीक है? Which one of the following factors constitutes the best safeguard of liberty in a liberal democracy? Best safeguard of liberty in a liberal democracy. Is it 22 or 21? ठीक है. Best constituent of safeguard of liberty in a liberal democracy. In liberal democracy, committed judiciary, centralization of powers, elected government, separation of powers. I'll tell you a technique. If at all there is any question like this, the concept which is having wide applicability, choose it. Now, in a liberal democracy, we have to safeguard the liberty. Liberty means, what is the meaning of liberty? Liberty means, we have two kinds, negative liberty, positive liberty. Absence of restraint is negative liberty. Positive liberty is ability, means a person developing his full potentialities is the positive liberty, positive concept of liberty. ठीक है? Now, committed judiciary, centralization of powers, elected government. If there is centralization of powers, it's against liberty. Elected government means a democratic government. Committed judiciary. Separation of powers. I am just asking you which concept has wide applicability, means a wider concept or the most basic amongst all. Yes? D. It is from the concept of separation of powers, the concept of independent judiciary has come. Here they have given it as committed judiciary. Committed judiciary is committed to the government of the day. government of the day. ठीक है, if it is government of the day. Now the thing is separation of powers. Independent judiciary is enjoying its independence because of separation of powers. Yes or no? We have legislature, executive, judiciary. So in a single person, all the three functions cannot be, because a person is legislating and the same person is trying. The law what you make, you try for the same law. You try a person, a citizen, from the law what you make. You yourself are making the laws and you are trying. ऐसा हो सकता है. You make a law that which may be having some flaws. So based on that flawed laws, you are trying the citizens. Is it violating liberty or no? If there is no separation of powers. If there is separation of powers, क्या हो रहा है? Even though if you make a law which is flawed, judiciary what is doing? Judiciary will be striking down that law as ultra vires. Yes or no? So basically judiciary should be independent. Independence of judiciary, the concept of independence of judiciary emanates from the concept of separation of powers. So you develop this idea, technique of amongst the given which is having wider applicability. Go for it blindly. If I am in your place, I will read the question once, but I will read the options 3 or 4 times, and which is having wider applicability, I will go for it. Implement the same logic in your exam, it will work. बाहर आने के बाद, even though you are not sure, you will be checking the key, na? Your answer will be right. Use this logic, it will work. ठीक है? So 2022 also we shall discuss. ठीक है? Consider the following statements. Bill amending the constitution requires a prior recommendation of the President of India. Bill amending the constitution requires a prior recommendation of a President of India. What is the second statement? When a constitutional bill is presented to the President of India, it is obligatory for the President to give his or her assent. A constitutional amendment bill must be passed by a special majority and there is no provision for joint sitting. It's a straight question, plain question. It's a plain question. Answer is 2 and 3. 2 and 3. Because a constitutional amendment bill, we have the procedure in Article 368. We have the procedure of amending the constitution in Article 368. It can be introduced by a minister or a private person. A private member also can introduce a constitution bill. ठीक है? Now, Constitution of India classifies ministers into 4 ranks. Constitution of India classifies ministers into 4 ranks. Cabinet ministers, Minister of State with independent charge, Minister of State and Deputy Minister. Minister of State सुना है ना नाम अभी? Minister of State, independent charge, cabinet minister, that terms are in vogue now. Yes or no? Now, and the thing is, you have gone through constitution. President, there will be a union council of ministers to aid and advise the chief executive. Yes or no? In constitution, we have article. So have you gone through any article where you come across a cabinet minister or minister of state, any article until now? Did you? In the constitution, any article mention about cabinet minister? Only Council of Ministers to aid and advise the President. Have you come across Cabinet Minister, Minister of State, anywhere? Anywhere? तो डरने की बात क्या है फिर? जाओ स्ट्राइक करो. नहीं है, रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट है. You have to be bold. You have to be confident. अरे लक्ष्मीकांत ने नहीं दिया तो कई और बुक में दे हो सकता है. Because you have gone through entire constitution of different books. You might have gone through D.D. Basu, you might have gone through Lakshmikant, you might have gone through Kashyap. Anywhere did you find that? So there is mention about only the Council of Ministers, Council of Ministers, Council of Ministers. Then go ahead, strike it off. What is the big deal in that? And 91st Constitutional Amendment Act, it made Council of Ministers as 15%. This is a valid statement. It's a fact. Yes or no? And the purpose of this question is, I want to this one to make you bold. To make you bold. Don't think twice. Shall I mark this or not? Shall I mark this or not? I haven't read properly. Haven't I read properly? There is a question. No. You have read properly. Now, if a question arises, have I read properly? You are UPSC aspirants, you read properly. Serious aspirants who are confident about themselves, the question will not arise. Have I read properly? You have been reading properly. I have been reading properly. I have been reading very good. Keep that in mind. You are the hero. You are the hero. That's it. Go with that attitude. अरे I'm an underdog. मैं ठीक से नहीं पढ़ा. ये हो सकता है. ये गलत भी हो सकता है. सही भी हो सकता है. No. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Whatever you have read until now, everything will be recollected. ठीक है? Next. So answer is B. Exclusive power of Lok Sabha. I think in 2019 they have given exclusive power of Rajya Sabha. Exclusive power of Lok Sabha. And with respect to polity, ratta nahi marna. Don't by heart. It's not about fact. Logic. Think logically. Think logically. Okay. Now answer for this. Which of the following are the exclusive powers of Lok Sabha? To ratify the declaration of emergency, to pass a motion of no confidence against the Council of Ministers, to impeach the President of India. Council of Ministers are responsible to the Lok Sabha or the lower house. Yes or no? So no confidence motion can be passed by Lok Sabha. Impeach the President. Special procedure ratified by both the houses. Yes or no? One house will give notice, other house will act as trial, investigating. 3 hata do. Mandatorily 2. Mandatorily 2. So answer is either 1 or 2 or 2 only. It should be in between this. Ratify the declaration of emergency. लोक सभा अकेला कर देता है? ऐसा होता है? नहीं. Answer is 2 only. Have you got it? Have you got it? And the thing is, in the examination situation, actual examination situation, you will be undecisive. Shall I go ahead with it or not? Shall I mark it or not? Because repeaters, they know how the examination will be. But for the freshers who are attempting for the first time now, they will be facing this problem. Sometimes repeaters also may face, shall I mark it or not? Shall I do it or not? I will play safe game. What is the purpose? Be bold. Be in a attacking mode. Mark it. And one more thing is, of the entire paper of 100 questions, only 30 questions you will be sure shot. 70 questions, at least 70 questions, you have to apply your brain to the fullest. So, whoever is confident about himself in the examination hall, they succeed. Others will perish. Again PT, again test series. Questions are tricky to an extent in 2022. ठीक है. Answer? So, I have selected this question to explain you something else also. Attorney General and Solicitor General of India are the only officers of the government who are allowed to participate in the meetings of the Parliament of India. ठीक है. What about Attorney General? Attorney General is the first law officer of the country. Attorney General is assisted by Solicitor General and Additional Solicitor General. Yes or no? They are the only officers of the government who are allowed to participate in the meetings of the Parliament. What about ministers? Yes? Can they participate in the proceedings of the other house? Can they? Can they? Ministers, AG can participate in the proceedings of the Parliament, but without the right to vote. Solicitor General will not have it. Because I am explaining this question because this year they may ask question on ministers, or they may ask. And one more thing is, now it is known fact that Attorney General can participate in the proceedings of the Parliament. Can Attorney General participate in the proceedings of a joint sitting? Questions will be like this, to confuse you, to scare you, to threaten you. Joint sitting means President can convene, Speaker will be acting as presiding officer, all this we have read. Yes or no? But question will be like this. Now, you just use your logic. Can you participate in joint sitting? Why not? Joint sitting is in case of any disagreement. In case of any disagreement, President will convene a joint sitting, will ask for a joint sitting. And being the first law officer, he can participate, his presence should be there for taking the opinion. Yes or no? First law officer, use this logic of first law officer, why can't he be? Because since you are going through many number of subjects, gaining mastery over each and everything is not possible. So, the most optimistic, the most progressive statements, go for them, go for them. So, I told you in the starting of the session itself, progressive, ठीक है. According to Constitution of India, Attorney General of India submits his resignation when the government which appointed him resigns. No, it is not like that. He can continue. He can continue. Next is the question on writs. डर जाते हैं ऐसे स्टेटमेंट्स को देख के. Mandamus with reference to the writs issued by the courts in India, consider the following statements. Mandamus will not lie against a private organization unless it is entrusted with a public duty. What is the writ of mandamus? We command. It's a command issued to the public official to perform his duties. It's a writ issued to the, it's a command issued to the, it's a command issued to the public official to perform his duties. That is a mandamus. That's a mandamus. What is quo warranto? By what authority you hold a public office? By what authority you hold a public office? Public office is a government office. Are citizens stakeholders with respect to public office? Are the citizen stakeholders, do they have any relevance with respect to public offices? Citizens, yes, because they are just representatives. Yes or no? Yes or no? No. With this background, attempt this question. Don't get scared. You will be coming across such questions in the examination hall, in your question paper. Don't be panicked. Mandamus will not lie against a private organization unless it is entrusted with a public duty. Can we consider private organization in the, can we as a part of the state? Private organization. When private organization is performing state's functions or executing any government work, then it can be part of the state. Then it comes under the definition of the state. It comes under the definition of a state. Mandamus will not lie against a private organization unless it is entrusted with a public duty. If it is performing public duty, private organization, then it becomes a part of the state or a public body. If it is not performing any public duty, can we consider it as a part of the state? No. Can we issue mandamus? So mandamus is against a command against a public official. Now here it does not come under public official. If it is performing a public duty, then it will be part of a state or the public official, mandamus can be issued. Statement 2, mandamus will not lie against a company though it may be a government company. See how weak the statement is. How weak the statement is. Command, writs, even though you may not be very thorough, writs, for enforcement of rights, इतना तो जानते हैं ना लोग. ऐसा तो गवर्नमेंट रहना चाहिए. गवर्नमेंट तो रहना चाहिए. So can you eliminate second one? Can you eliminate second one? I told you na, examiner himself will be giving certain hints. Now should we read third one? Should we read third one? So if you are not having time in the examination, don't read. If you are left with the time, read. अभी 2 मिनट बाकी है, 4 क्वेश्चन है, पढ़ना है थर्ड को छोड़ दो. Any public minded person can be a petitioner to move the court to obtain a writ of quo warranto. Yes or no? Whoever is holding public office, there is a right to know by what authority he is holding that office. Any public spirited person can approach the court to issue the writ, and court can issue the writ. Does it appear to be logical? Yes or no? But you in the first instance itself, if you find the second statement as absurd or wrong, directly go for 1-3. Directly go for 1-3. Students complain of, sir, time is not sufficient. Time was not sufficient. Sir, last minute, sir, 10 minutes बचे थे, 25 questions बाकी था. I could have answered only 10 or 12 questions. 10 questions I haven't answered, sir. But the saddest thing is that 10 questions I am sure of what I haven't answered. So everything is about how smart you are, how you are managing the paper. ठीक है? Next. Statements like this are easy to answer. Now, if you are doing a single job, you do it perfectly. If you are doing multiple jobs, एक के बाद एक, you may commit a silly mistake. Sometimes that may go unnoticed, but if you keenly observe it, there will be a mistake. Use the same logic. If there are more statements, there will be silly mistakes. ऐसा होता है examination hall में, you people because of that examination anxiety, that reading such lengthy statements, it will take time and it will generate pressure or tension. अच्छा, बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन है, 1 मिनट पानी पी लेता हूँ, फिर आंसर. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होता है. The thing is, if there are 4 options, examiner will give more hints. अभी क्या करना है? 3-4, 4-4, 3-3. इसमें 3 है, इसमें 3 है, इसमें 4 है, इसमें 4 है. पहले ट्राई करेंगे 4 और 3 को. If 4 is wrong, no need of looking into these 2. 4 is wrong, no need of looking into these 2. ठीक है? And we should look into only 2. Here 1-3, here again we have 1-2-3. Use logic. Why to waste time? Okay. Have you got it? Fourth one. A well-established parliamentary practice regarding the appointment of deputy speaker is that the motion is moved by the speaker and duly seconded by Prime Minister. A well-established parliamentary procedure is that regarding the appointment of deputy speaker is that motion is moved by the speaker and duly seconded मतलब, अरे सेकंड इतना अंग्रेजी तो नहीं जानते सर हम, हिंदी देखो. Seconded means, हाँ, I'm telling you, in practice ऐसा ही करना है. If you are not sure about the English word, because we are not born English, yes or no? So to an extent we are not that strong in English. So if there are any statements like this, go for the Hindi version. Just read the Hindi version. Seconded means supported. ऐसा हो सकता है? Can it be? In the parliament, Prime Minister is head of a council of ministers. Bas, a parliamentarian. In the parliament, who is supreme? Speaker. Sir, Madam Speaker, Sir Speaker, Adhyaksh Mahoday. Speaker is everything there. Outside the house, in the party, affairs of the party, Prime Minister is supreme. But whereas in the house, ultimately it is the speaker who decides everything about the parliament. Yes or no? Can statement 4 be right then? Can statement 4 be right then? No. ठीक है, ये दोनों नहीं है फिर 1 2 3 है 1 3 है 1 देखेंगे ट्राई करेंगे 3 ट्राई करेंगे नहीं तो 2 ट्राई करेंगे 2. Look how weak the statement is. How weak the statement is. There is a mandatory provision that election of a candidate as a deputy speaker of the Lok Sabha shall be either from principal opposition party or the ruling party. Sir, I am not sure. शायद मैंने पढ़ा है नहीं. We are following the system. We are reading newspaper, speaker, deputy speaker. If at all there is a provision like this, we might have encountered. And this statement itself is irrational or illogical. If at all there is any provision like that, there at one point of the time or the other, we might have encountered this. Yes or no? So eliminate 4, eliminate 2, 1 3 पढ़ना चाहिए. टाइम नहीं है यार, टाइम बहुत है तो पढ़ लो आराम से. Whether it is making some logical meaningful statement or not. As per rules of procedure, conduct of business of Lok Sabha, the election of deputy speaker shall be held on such a date as the speaker may fix. I told you na, speaker is everything with respect to the house. Deputy speaker has the same powers as the speaker when presiding as the of the house, and no appeal lie against his rulings. Now, whenever speaker is not there, it is a deputy speaker. He will be having all the powers. 3 is correct. But student psychology, I am telling you, if they come across such question, they will be panic. Yes or no? Did you feel it last year? Have you felt this last attempt? सही किया था, गलत किया था ये क्वेश्चन? गलत किया, करेक्ट किया. ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. Congratulations. Fifth schedule, sixth schedule. If a particular area is brought under the fifth schedule of the Constitution of India, fifth schedule of the Constitution of India, which of the following statements best reflects the consequences of it? Fifth schedule. What is the difference between fifth schedule and sixth schedule? Fifth schedule is about scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. Scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. Okay. Sixth schedule. Administration of tribal areas in AMTM states. Administration of tribal areas in AMTM states is sixth schedule. Fifth schedule is about scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. Scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. Scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. Now, what is the scheduled area? What is the scheduled area? This can be also a question. What is the scheduled area? Area notified by President as a scheduled area is scheduled area. I will tell you a logic. Remember, fifth schedule, keep in mind President. Sixth schedule, Governor. Use this logic. Fifth schedule, sixth schedule, Governor. You don't think much, because if it would have been a class, I would have explained you in detail. But this logic I am telling you. Fifth schedule, go for President. Sixth schedule, Governor. Now, this fifth schedule is for safeguarding the scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. Sixth schedule is about administration. is about a administration. For example, you have TAC, Tribal Advisory Council. Tribal Advisory Council, this can also be a question. 5th schedule or 6th schedule? 5th or 6th? 6th is about administration. 6th about administration, district councils, regional councils, continuing their own age-old practice of administration. Age-old practice of administration. Okay. Now the question is, best reflect the consequence. If it is a 5th schedule, which of the following is the best reflecting it? This would prevent transfer of land of tribal people to non-tribal people. Basically, it is for protecting the tribal interests, scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. हो सकता है. This could create a local self-government body in that area. If it is 5th schedule, local government, or 6th schedule, it is local government. They should convert area into UT. My God. If that is the case, all the 5th schedule areas, 6th or 5th, 5th schedule areas should be UTs by now. The state having such areas would be declared as special category state. Is that the case? Answer is A. The purpose of 5th schedule, the purpose of 6th schedule. If you know the purpose, what exactly are the provisions given there can be guessed. It's not just by hearting. 5th schedule A point, 6th schedule A point, aisa nahi. The purpose of 5th schedule, the purpose of 6th schedule. What I told you, polity is about logic. Polity is about logic. It's not about ratta marna. It's not about by hearting. I'll tell you one more secret of success. The people who are relaxed, balanced, composed, they will clear prelims, at least prelims. सर ऐसा कौन हो सकते हैं यूपीएससी में? सबको टेंशन रहता है. Within them, who are better balanced, better composed, less tension, they will excel. Everybody will have that tension, but who feel less tension, they excel. ठीक है. Be prepared for questions like this also, which you are not sure, and there are brighter chances of missing because you don't find any logic here. It is a fact based. It's a fact based. India Sanitation Coalition is a platform to promote sustainable sanitation, and it is funded by Government of India and WHO. Only logic what I can find here is India Sanitation Coalition funded by WHO. WHO mandate is different. It's about diseases, drugs. Actually, this is the initiative of FICCI. This is the initiative of FICCI, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. But the logic what we can identify here is this one: WHO and India Sanitation Coalition. India Sanitation Coalition. What is a coalition? What is a coalition? The group. Sanitation Coalition, India Sanitation Coalition means for promoting sustainable sanitation, there is a coalition of a few members. So, considering this sanitation, the words coalition, and having only Government of India and WHO, we can eliminate. If not, जाना दो एक question क्या है उसमें? I am preparing you mentally that your journey will be a highway journey in the exam. It's not like that. You will come across certain potholes on the road. and some speed breakers also. Be prepared for that. Because I was explaining everything, logic, etc. You are feeling, acha, bahut acha hai paper. You should get that logic in the examination hall. At the same time, there will be a mix of questions. You will be coming across such questions where you may be paused, a speed breaker. Okay? Be mentally prepared that your journey is not going to be smooth. Road is not that smooth. But you have a very good vehicle. Use that vehicle properly. Vehicle is yours. Can you change the road? Can you change the vehicle? Vehicle is yours. Vehicle is yours. So the most comfortable vehicle you can choose. Most comfortable means most effective brain. रोड को तो नहीं बदल सकते, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, National Institute of Urban Affairs is an apex body of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs in Government of India and provides innovative solutions to addressing the challenges of urban India. Innovative challenges to the urban India. How is that statement? Yes. Statement 2. National Institute of Urban Affairs is an apex body of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. सही तो लग रहा है? And provides innovative solutions. It's a solution. Innovative solution. आप देख सकते हो. But this is dedicated organization. It will provide better solutions. हो सकता है statement? Statement हो सकता है? Yes. So answer should be either 2 only or neither. Answer should be either 2 only or neither. But the thing is, answer is 2 only. Second statement is correct. So we are done with 2022. 2020. You see, Rajya Sabha has equal powers with Lok Sabha with respect to. Cut motion with respect to? No, budget. Budget, finances. Who has this privilege? Lok Sabha. Removal of the government. Removal of the government. Both are. Lok Sabha. Yes or no? Lose the confidence of the lower house. Amending the constitution. Article 368 procedure. Both have co-equal powers. Creation of all India services. Rajya Sabha has exclusive privilege of creation of all India services. All these are the factual information, but I am just telling you the logic of the remaining options. Especially freshers who have just taken coaching, whose coachings are completed by March or April of this year. For them, my techniques will work a lot. Even for others, they work. But the freshers, they are not sure of the concepts of the subject. Revisions will be less. For them, people like you, madam, people like you, it will work a lot. Especially the freshers. That does not mean that I don't mean that the repeaters don't use these logics. Even you people have to use. But you have something else in your brain. More information. They have less information. Since they are having less information, they use logic more. Since you are having more information, you mix logic and your information. That leads to confusion. So they perform better. Sometimes हो सकता है. ठीक है. This is with respect to MPLADS. With reference to funds of the MPLADS. With reference to funds of the MPLADS 2020. Yeah. With reference to funds of the MPLADS, which of the statements are correct? Your statements are correct. Shall we use any logic? 4 statements are there. 4 statements are there. Can we go for 3? Because 3 we have in 2 statements. 2 we have in 3 statements. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So let's check out 2 and 3 and 4. Because in all the options you have 1, 2. In all the options you have 1, 2. If 3 and 4 are correct, let's go for B. If 3 is incorrect, let's go for A or D. If 4 is incorrect, let's go for A. It's better to check 3 and 4. क्या बोलते हैं? Or should we read all the statements? Shall we? First, let's do it with 3 and 4. 3. MPLADS are sanctioned on a yearly basis and unused funds cannot be carried forward to the next year. Four, district authority must inspect at least 10% of the works, all works under implementation every year. Now, MPLADS funds must be used to create durable assets, it seems. First statement. सही लग रहा है? ठीक है. A specified portion of MP funds must be benefit for the SC/ST population. It is make a sensible statement. As per the population of SC/ST, some specified funds should be allocated. Yes. We have separate budgets. We have tribal sub-plans, scheduled caste plans, gender budgeting for women, for scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. Statement appears to be true. Now, district authority must inspect at least 10% of the works under implementation every year, because the works what they are undertaking, first statement जो भी है, works what they are undertaking, district authorities should they inspect at least 10% or 100%, 50%, 20%, 100%. डिस्ट्रिक्ट अथॉरिटी को बस यही काम है और थोड़ा काम नहीं है, काम नहीं रहता डिस्ट्रिक्ट अथॉरिटी को. हाँ तो फिर कैसा 100%. So statement 4 appears to be correct, because at least they are verifying, even though we are not sure about 10% or 20%, but there is a logic in inspecting the at least 10% of the works. Yes or no? Yes or no? So shall we go ahead with 4? One and 2 are correct. ठीक है. 4, shall we include 4 to 1 and 2 or shall we ignore? Which is better option? What I intend to ask you is whether shall we go with 1 2 or 1 to 4. One to 4 makes some sense, better sense, rather than only 1 2, because there are brighter chances for this. Yes or no? Progress. ठीक है. Next. Protection against untouchability and discrimination or any form of discrimination. Untouchability, right? Equality. You may get confused. Right against exploitation is beggar, forced labor, trafficking, that's exploitation. Untouchability is inequality. You are not on par with us. That's why examiner has given you this one first, because some may end up answering this also. exploitation. ठीक है. So third it is answer is D. Answer is D. Constitutional government by definition is limited government. Repeat हो गया. इसका मतलब क्या है? इक्वालिटी भी रिपीट हो गया, रूल ऑफ लॉ भी रिपीट हो गया, जुडिशरी रिपीट हो गया, सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर्स. अरे दीज आर द कोर कॉन्सेप्ट्स. You have to be thorough with. There will be questions on these concepts. So constitutional government is by definition a limited government where there are limitations on the government. Now be careful in answering this. Progress. Other than fundamental rights, which of the following parts of the Constitution of India reflects the principles and provisions of Universal Declaration of Human Rights? We have fundamental rights. It's you people know very well that our fundamental rights are based on Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Other than fundamental rights, which of the following provisions reflect the principles and provisions of principles and provisions of human rights? Principles, the values underlying. Provisions, A, B, C, D. Preamble, fundamental duties, डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स. फंडामेंटल राइट्स तो है, फंडामेंटल राइट्स को के अलावा अदर दैन फंडामेंटल राइट्स प्रोविजंस एंड प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ UNDCLAR आर कैन बी सीन इन प्रियम्बल में. क्या रहता है? We the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign society, secular democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, equality. Aren't they human rights? The principles. So one is for sure. One को रहना चाहिए. ठीक है. 1 is 1 2 1 3 1 2 3. संकट में डाल दिया. Directive principles of the state policy aimed at welfare of citizens. Fundamental duties are duties to on the part of the citizens for benefit of individual or entire society. All the citizens. All the citizens. Society at large means all the citizens. These are for citizens. These are also for citizens. Just logic I am telling you. Logic of directive principles. Logic of preamble to fixed. No question. No question. Directive principles are aimed at for the welfare of the citizens. Welfare state. Yes or no? Even fundamental duties on the part of the citizen for benefit of the society at large. क्या करेंगे? I told you the logic. 1 2 1 3 1 2 3. ज़्यादा सोचना नहीं. मतलब मैं नहीं पढ़ा था ये, हमारे क्लास में नहीं पढ़ाया, हमारे कोचिंग में नहीं पढ़ाया, वो सब कुछ छोड़ दो. अरे टेस्ट सीरीज में ऐसा क्वेश्चन नहीं आया था, सब कुछ छोड़ दो. यहाँ पे क्या दिख रहा है आपको? Yes, madam? D is a better choice because ultimately for the benefit of the citizens, Ultimately for the benefit of the citizens, we the people of India.
So how fundamental duties?
Fundamental, what are the fundamental duties? Can you list out any fundamental duty? Protection of environment. Why? For whom? For humans, for the citizens at large. Directive principles. We have provisions with respect to welfare state. Why? Citizens at large. Safeguard the interests of the citizens. So they are having linkage. This is having linkage. This is having a linkage. They are all having linkage.
Also a part of the society to enjoy the fundamental rights becomes an obligation or a duty for the other party.
No, it's not about duty or obligation. My logic here is, are they ensuring the welfare of the citizens or society at large or not? This one and this one, are they having link or not? Fundamental duties for the benefit of the society at large. Yes or no? Since they are enjoying fundamental rights, so they have to perform certain duties. It's not like that. It's not like that. Fundamental duty to be healthy. To be healthy is a fundamental duty, do you know? You have to be healthy enough. You have to maintain, you have to make sure you are healthy. Why?
So that can be affected as citizens in our work.
Because you can perform your duties or your responsibilities towards your parents, towards your house, towards your place, to the country at large. It's not like that. It's not that since they are enjoying right, they should perform duties. Since they are enjoying it, they have to perform. Only because they are enjoying it, that's why they have to perform fundamental duties. It's not like that. They have certain duties towards the society at large. Being healthy, it's my choice. I want to be healthy. I don't want to be healthy. Means you are responsible towards your family, towards society at large. समझ गए? ठीक है. Because all this takes lot of time to discuss. If it is the actual class, I would have discussed at length. But the thing is, we are managing the paper. Classroom will be different, my dear. Classroom will be different. Because we discuss, we debate, I'll tell you the logic, the rationale behind it. But how to manage the prelims paper, if at all you come across any question like this. And ultimately I told you, progress. Progress. Select the ones which are progressive. Select the ones which are progressive. Progress. This is progress. This is progress. This is progress. Why not? Why not? Go ahead with 1, 2, 3. In the examination hall, if at all, on May 28th, if you come across any such questions, mark it simply and come out. You will be getting the, anyhow key will be released by the institutes, your answer will be right. You will be in a safe zone. ठीक है? Parliamentary system of the government is one in which parliamentary system of government is the one in which they are not asking democracy. Even presidential form is a democracy. Parliamentary form of government. Take India. Best example. Just imagine Indian case. What does Indian parliamentary form of government means? All political parties in the parliament are represented in the government. वो है parliament बोलता हूँ. Government is chosen by the parliament and cannot be removed by it before completion of a fixed term. Government is responsible to the parliament and can be removed by it. Government is elected by the people and can be removed by them. Government is elected by the people and can be removed by them. अच्छा. ठीक है. Government is responsible to the parliament and can be removed by it. Government is chosen by the parliament and cannot be removed by it before completion of the fixed term. तो फिर ये भी करेक्ट है, फिर सेकंड भी करेक्ट है. मतलब इफ यू कोरिलेट बोथ ऑफ देम, गवर्नमेंट इज चूजन बाय द पार्लियामेंट and cannot be removed by it before completion of fixed term. Government is responsible to the parliament. Responsible government. Responsible to Lok Sabha. How can people remove government? How can people remove government? People can just vote the government for every 5 years. Yes or no? They should enjoy the confidence of the Lok Sabha. Responsible government, they have to be responsible to the parliament. Indirect representative democracy. Parliamentary system of government, government is responsible to the parliament. Government is
Parliament means it's like both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha.
okay.
So
No. It's not responsible only to Lok. It's not about only Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Parliament as an institution, government is responsible to the parliament. Government is in turn actually responsible to the people, but it is since being an indirect democracy, it will be responsible to the parliament. And within the parliament, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, its thing is different. But the logic of the parliamentary form of government, logic of the parliamentary form of the government is responsible to the parliament. Government is not responsible to either king or queen. Government is responsible to the parliament. Okay. All these are the basics questions. Are they testing your basics or not? Be prepared for such questions. Be prepared for such questions and try to decode them. Next question. Constitution of India defines basic structure in terms of federalism, secularism, fundamental rights and democracy. They are indeed components of basic structure, but Constitution of India did not define the basic structure. It's a judicial innovation. ठीक है. Constitution provides for judicial review to safeguard citizens' liberties and preserve the ideals of which the Constitution is based. Separation of powers, based on the separation of powers. Yes or no? Constitutional government is a limited government. Every organization has its own limitations, its own powers, functions. Any doubt? Constitution of India provides for judicial review to safeguard the liberties. It is inbuilt. Though we don't use the word judicial review, it's a inbuilt. ठीक है. Bureaucracy. You people IAS officers, IPS, सिंघम भाई, IAS, क्या करेंगे आप लोग? अरे हम तो IAS और सब कुछ करेंगे हम. What is the role of a bureaucracy in a democracy? A agency for widening the scope of parliamentary democracy. Agency for strengthening the structure of federalism. Political agency for facilitating stability and economic growth. Agency for implementation of public policy. D. Preamble to the Constitution of India is we the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialistic, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. Assuring the dignity of the individual and unity and dignity of the nation. This is the preamble. Okay. Is part of the Constitution. Is a part. The statement what I have made, we the people of India constitute India into a sovereign, socialistic, secular, democratic. Is it part of Constitution in this sense? Yes? ठीक है. So second तो eliminate करो. A part of the Constitution has same legal effect as any other part. A part of the Constitution has no legal effect independent of other parts. Part of the Constitution but has no legal effect. Does it make any sense? Part of the Constitution, no legal effect. Part of the Constitution has same legal effect as any other part. Part of the Constitution but has no legal effect independently of other parts. Means preamble has to be read along with other provisions of the Constitution. Whenever there is ambiguity with respect to the provisions of the Constitution, again we refer to the preamble. What is preamble? Preamble is just an idea or the values. How can you implement them? The provisions of the preamble, the values enshrined in the preambles are in detail specified in other articles or other provisions of the Constitution, other parts of the Constitution. Yes or no? So without other provisions, how can it have legal effect? Just as a text, can it have any legal effect? The text of the preamble or the values enshrined in the preamble are reflected in the provisions of the Constitution. Yes or no? Provisions of the Constitution. So it's a part of the Constitution, has no legal effect independently with other parts. It has to be read along with the other parts. And vice versa, other parts have to be read along with the preamble or the values enshrined in the preamble. Preamble is the base, preamble is the core. You people will be reading in what is that popular book, black color, one page. ऐसा उड़ा देते हैं. नहीं. Preamble is the crux of the entire Constitution. If you are thorough with the provisions of the preamble, paper 2 mains है ना, Constitution, governance, you can write beautifully. Preamble itself has to be taught a minimum for 10 to 15 hours. Why? Because other provisions of the Constitution, they are linked to the preamble. They have their base or source in preamble. Got it? ठीक. I told you one more thing. What is that? Which is having wider scope. Select that amongst the options. ठीक है. And with respect to this also, what is that? Directive principles of the state policy. कौन सा? कहाँ पे था क्वेश्चन? हाँ. Which is having wide scope. Preamble. So one is for sure. 1 is in everything, in these 3. Correlate like that. The thing is, there should not be confusion. Preamble है कि नहीं है इसमें with respect to that fundamental rights and universal declaration of human rights. So the question, right? Two 2019 we have 2 questions. This is direct article 142. That's article 142 directly. Please go through the provisions of with respect to the judiciary in the text of the constitution. All the provisions, constitution text, not any book. All the articles with respect to judiciary, go through them. All the articles with respect to judiciary, just go through them. Article 142. With reference to Constitution of India, prohibitions or limitations or the provisions contained in the ordinary laws cannot act as prohibitions or limitations on the constitutional powers of Article 142. It could mean prohibitions, limitations of ordinary laws cannot act as prohibitions or limitations on the constitutional powers of a Supreme Court under Article 142. What does that mean? Provisions contained in the ordinary laws or any restrictions contained in the ordinary laws cannot be the restrictions for Supreme Court according to Article 142. What does it mean? In the statement itself, question itself, you have the answer. If you are thorough with Article 142, you can mark it directly. But I find answer in the question itself. Article 142 is with respect to judiciary. If you know that it is with respect to judiciary, you can answer it. If you know Article 142 is with respect to judiciary, your answer is done. With reference prohibitions, limitations, provisions contained in ordinary laws ordinary laws means laws passed by the Parliament, cannot act as prohibitions or limitations on the constitutional powers under Article 142. Go for statement B. Supreme Court of India is not constrained in the exercise of its powers by the laws made by the Parliament. ठीक है. 142 article is with respect to the Supreme Court. You should know that. That's why time and again I have been telling you. Even in the classroom also I told you. In the revision classes also I told you. Articles relevant to the judiciary have to be thorough. I will tell you one more secret. Entire polity revolves around 15 to 20 concepts. Polity in the sense, polity paper of prelims. Roughly some 20 concepts. Examiner will be revolving around it. Only those 20 concepts in other way. They try to frame question in another way, in another way, in another way, in another way. If you are thorough with around roughly some 20 concepts, your polity is done. Most of them we have already discussed. In the classroom, I already told you कहाँ पे focus करना है. ठीक है. It's not that start with page 1, end with page 320, page 1 कितना पढ़ा था आज? I read 20 pages today. It will not work. You have to identify the areas where the examiner is interested in. Thoroughly revise only those areas again and again and again and again until you get that conceptual clarity and the technique of elimination. ठीक है, page 1 to page 320 will not work. Page 1 to page 100 today, page 100 to 250 tomorrow, page 250 to 320, 3 days में book खत्म कर दिया मैं, नहीं होगा. Concept, conceptual clarity, the logic involved has to be focused on. ठीक है. With these questions what we have discussed today, I think polity we have discussed most of the questions with the same outlook, of the ideas what you have given to you: elimination, strong statements, weak statements, linkages. With this perspective, solve all the PYQs from 19 to 22 before attempting your examination. If you are not finding the logic, come to the office, I'll solve it. We shall solve together. ठीक है. Now, in the index of Indian polity, which of the following would you accept as the most appropriate definition of liberty? Liberty, Statue of Liberty. Which harbor? New York. Huh? What is that indicating? I think it's a gift given by France, I think. Statue of Liberty. Is it New York? I'm not sure. New York harbor? Some harbor. But that is the point of entry into United States of America. There you are showing Statue of Liberty. Welcome to America, the land of liberty. It has that meaning. Yes or no? So what does liberty mean? America, liberty. D. Okay. We have negative liberty, absence of restraint. Is it not liberty? It's liberty, but it's a negative. Opportunity to do whatever one likes. It's also liberty. It's also liberty, but it's also negative liberty. Positive aspect of liberty is opportunity for the individual to develop fully. State should provide the opportunity for the individuals to develop fully. Look at the question. The most appropriate definition. Absence of restraint is also liberty. Opportunity, to do what one hour likes is also liberty. Protection against the tyranny of the political rulers is also liberty. All these are negative sense. Positive sense is why? Why no restraint? Purpose. What purpose will it fulfill? To develop oneself fully. ठीक है. When this question was asked in 2019, everybody have their own version of the answer. ठीक है. So with this mindset, to summarize, be in attacking mode, confident, logical, these three are going to work for you. And as I told you, progress. be it science or economy or polity, whatever it may be. First thing is human race is here, we are to progress, we are progressing. So optimism, optimism. It's okay. This optimism or optimistic attitude helps you a lot in solving science and technology questions and environment questions. So that I will explain in next session of on environment. Okay. So with this mindset, attempt all the PYQs of a polity. When? Today. Okay. See you. Thank you.